and welcome to the SmackDown review. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by an Dolly Boys, Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture, here to review everything happened on this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Not in a review SmackDown with us and Raw, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Oh, Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a really good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to review this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Now, you've been a little bit grumpy with regards to SmackDown in recent weeks. Yeah. What do you make of this week's show?
Well, it's a little bit grumpy.
Oh.
Maybe it was the reality setting in because it was this week's episode. Well, there was one thing I really wanted and didn't get, and there was one thing I was dreading and I got. The one thing I really wanted and didn't get was an official announcement that WrestleMania's in Las Vegas. And the time is ticking.
We're, 10 months away?
Yep. But we're also 9 days.
It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where it is on this anymore. Where are you, Tony? Tony, where are you? Tony? Where is he? Where are you hiding, Tony?
What is he labelled as on there?
I think it's just called 9 days. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there it was.
9 days!
Seamless.
You would just never know, would you?
Seamless.
Since they pulled the rug out from Nola.
Yes.
And no official announcement for Vegas makes me worry that another city's coming with even more money.
Yeah. It's like when, was it Arsenal bid £50 million and £1?
That's what I'm worried about.
Suarez.
That's what I'm worried about. The Suarez precedent is what I'm concerned about at the moment. That's what everyone's calling it. Luis Suarez, Liverpool.
I believe so.
When was this?
I think people realised that he had a release clause at Liverpool of £50 million, and so Arsenal bid £50 million and £1. And Liverpool just said, no.
Well, Arsenal tried to buy him from Liverpool for £50 million and £1.
Is that right, Nicholas? Have I misremembered that?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Is this like after the point he was racist and biting?
Probably.
That's mental.
You
want to keep away from that, don't you? You know, Kenny Dalglish wearing a T-shirt with his face on it or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but we want to pay the extra quid to get him. That's part of the deal.
In 2013, Arsenal bid £40 million plus £1 for Liverpool's Luis Suarez,
There you go.
aiming to activate a reported release clause.
I mean, I respect the hustle there. They've done the homework.
A whole £1 as well. They could have just gone a penny.
That's true.
40 million in a penny.
They're showing that they're serious.
Yeah. That's all right. We got some money to throw around.
That was it. The stress over the lack of an announcement for Las Vegas was disappointing. The stress over the prospect of this continuing to be 3 hours.
The last 3 hour SmackDown, of course, this one.
It's just depressing. Like, this is not a good show. I'm sorry, Wilbourn. And I'm the sorriest of all. Even though it seems to be the hardest word. And this is the blue brand.
Mm-hmm.
Make me feel blue every bloody week. Like, it's so boring and it's so fake feeling.
I'll admit it, it doesn't have the snap or whatever of an episode of Monday Night Raw, but I still think there are good moments in there.
There are good moments in there. It is to the immense credit of WWE that their new baseline or whatever, the bar for as low as it was all those years is now so much higher that the bad show, the one that almost, I think you might be the last one left, like that otherwise universally this is getting panned, that the bar is so much higher than it used to be in that there are a couple of stories happening. Mm-hmm. There are like characters that are getting featured in a consistent way where you can see where they're going to be headed. Mm-hmm. A couple of divisions that they're trying to tend to, you know. I don't think it's any good, but those things are happening. Like the basics are being done, but they're being done quite poorly. And
I think it is good, but it's not good. It's not as good compared to previous years, or a snappier version, as I say, a quicker the lulls, therefore, or the bits that get to drag on a little bit. I think there was some like really good matches on this show.
Well, my worry is that it's feeling increasingly like where characters go to die. Like up and down this episode, I think this is, as we go through it, maybe I'll try and illustrate the examples. I feel like there are so many wrestlers on this show who are either no longer over, or maybe never over to begin with, or are in the process of doing something that is going to make them less over by the end. Like there's a real hopelessness. Like it's a bloody Road Dogg. If only the game Triple H could get the wrestle control back on the bloody wheel, and he just can't. Give me SmackDown back, Road Dogg. He's saying. Road Dogg's like, no. Enter the O, H, because he loves spelling stuff out. Yeah, I'm a dog. Did a quiz on coyotes, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was this on WhatCulture?
And it wasn't AI, and it wasn't received as generationally terrible. Where's Wilbourn? First of its kind.
Why coyotes?
I was just thinking about them.
Okay.
There was I feel like it might have been linked to something, but I didn't want to do a wrestling one, and I was forbidden from doing anything with AI by Nicholas and Phil, who both said they would walk out if I started a quiz that used AI. So I went and did some research into coyotes in like funny stories of coyotes in like America and Canadian cities.
Oh,
it was like, it was like sort of, I'll not spoil the whole quiz, but it's, for example, like, and then so-and-so goes into work and there's only a bloody coyote in the lift, as if you wouldn't f***ing yourself. Like, bing, like, but go away, coyote, and then it just goes up a floor.
You're going to have to do that again because people got denied that visual for a second there, so just imagine you've gone in the lift again.
Okay, so I'll do the going up.
Bing.
That's the sound.
That's a nightmare. I mean, as you have just seen, it's a living nightmare.
You're thinking of the same thing I'm thinking of as well. That guy on the news, who reenacted the dog and his wife.
Seen the Aussie doing that? I'll show you afterwards.
No,
have you seen that?
No.
He's just a man doing an interview on the telly about some dog that was in the street, and
his wife's next to him, isn't she?
Just done what you've done there, but it was completely unnecessary. And he's like, dog was something that was just going, I was like going crazy, and his wife's like, like famous. I'm sorry for everybody who just had me scream that into the microphone there as well. That was
not a great deal of signal in the field that we went camping this weekend, but which iconic video did we enjoy watching this weekend that you and I have reminisced about quite a great deal?
One has just come to mind. It might not be correct, but there's just one that's come into my head there, and I'd love it to be correct because it's just a favourite anyway. Is it Joy Division on a roller coaster?
Oh.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Good, not right. More animal based, as we're on the topic.
Oh, the jacked kangaroo. Bingo! Got your dog.
There's a great Shane Gillis about that as well in his stand up. And he does a very good impression of it.
Of the jacked kangaroo?
Yeah.
It's the claws, isn't it? The abs and the claws.
Come on then.
Did you see, I was at animal stuff, animal section. The pig that I took the picture with.
Excuse me. What's this?
Kaiser Chiefs gig. Kaiser Chiefs played I'd Predict a Riot twice. The Chesney Hawks precedent. As I later found out, because it was in the encore and we were leaving to get the jump on the traffic, and the Kaiser Chiefs fan amongst us had seen enough. Me, I was done by na 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 na. Pick whichever track. It turns out the reason they were, well, not the only reason they did it as an encore, probably because I haven't got the songs, but one of the reasons they were doing it as an encore was because they had Patrick Bamford come out and play on stage with them.
Leeds football.
Current Leeds thing, like they had the trophy on stage, like big Leeds thing.
Of course, that
makes sense. Yes, but they played I Predict Right twice. I find that a bit off-putting. It was in the otherwise amazing Temple Newsome. It's a great location for an outdoor gig. It's very close to Leeds, which in itself, all-time UK city, great night out. And there's some wildlife as he's sort of walking in.
Oh, cool.
Well, I wouldn't typically think that, would I?
No.
Not an animal lover, shall we say. More of an animal fearer. I don't
Eater.
think I would eat an animal, but I would still fancy its chances to eat me first. Like, unless it's cooked and stuffed in bread. I think most animals would beat me in a fight, and I don't trust them, and we coexist but I wouldn't say well. You know, like pay-per-view opponents perpetually. If you want to go to it'll only be a couple down. There was
Twitter.
Yeah, there was a pig that was just enjoying its day, and I got a picture with a pig. And,
Basketball. Hang on, I've got to get to this.
Yeah. What? Anything particularly significant about this pig? You want to tell the viewers and the listeners? He's zooming in and dancing.
It's got a curly tail.
Yep. That was what I wanted the picture with. A really, really, really pronounced curly tail of this pig.
At Michael Hamflett, if you want to go and check it out.
Yes, I do.
Very pronounced curly tail of the pig. I was like, wow, I need to get a picture with this curly tail. I'd never seen anything like it.
No, it's worthy of a picture. I credit you.
Thank you. Just like, seen that? So yeah, that was Animal Chat. Because of aforementioned, I'm really tired today. I watched SmackDown on a Saturday morning before heading down to that. You seen the picture, Nicholas?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a curly ass tail, isn't it?
That's a curly tail, yeah.
Really curly, that.
Is that common with pigs or not?
I haven't paid much attention, to be honest.
You will do now, though.
Yeah.
Taking Eric to a farmyard, I know what you're going to be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the pigs first, why? Just need to check something. Do you milk pigs?
Not like that.
You're going to get a bucket.
Milk anything with nipples.
That's what I was thinking. Pig got nipples.
I've got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Does a pig have nipples? Must do, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be something going
Well,
on.
yeah, something's coming out there. But something's got to come out of something. I'll be honest, I'm not a veterinarian.
No, I was just thinking, like, could you milk a pig? Could you milk a pig? Like, because is dog milk a thing?
I think you watched that South Park episode and got confused.
South Park or Simpsons or something.
Yes, pigs can be milked, but it's not a practical or common practice for dairy production. They've got small teats.
Right. Yes.
They're not predisposed to be milked, and they don't produce large quantities of milk.
Large quantities of something.
There's also no dedicated milking technology. High fat.
It can't be that much different, can it? It's just a nipple.
Yeah.
Top thing. Why don't we have pig milk?
That's what I was like. Imagine that. It's like, oh, lovely bacony flavour.
I'm just
sorry to
asking
the
questions.
vegans and vegetarians.
And the pigs.
And they can't hear. They don't listen to podcasts. Like,
You don't know that.
well, no, they might have podcasts played at them. There is yet to be proof that pigs have tastes in podcasts. It might be like if you're a farmer,
I feel like you haven't even done any research about that. You're just saying things.
you might be correct on that. I have yet to say. The thing is, as much as I don't like animals, I do love podcasts and research into podcasts. So if there was studies that had been done about animals liking particular podcasts, I would like that information. Like when you were down at the Acast thing the other week.
I
asking
neglected
me
to mention that at the podcast show. Which do you think is the best one for pigs?
What can you milk a dog? Did you ask that at the Acast show or not?
I think I did that at the... Yeah, I was chatting to the lad from NordVPN, and he stopped talking to me after that, actually.
Yeah, he said, I did it on free radio.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it on podcasts.
I know, it's just Spencer Matthews, actually. I asked that too.
Right.
Just before I got a photo with him. Hence this confused expression in our photo.
Who did you meet with? Did you meet Adam Wilbourn? Was he the dog milking guy? Free radio. Milk a dog for a tenner.
Don't give him ideas. Actually, there's nothing left, is there? So. Anyway, should we talk about SmackDown?
Like trying to milk a bloody pig. Bloody radio industry. Yeah, I mean, there's nipples, but you can't get anything out of them.
It's very zoo format, though. That's a radio thing, isn't it?
That's true, yeah. The Chris Evans breakfast show
Yeah.
and every copycat. That's a cat. That's an animal. Is animal section completed, do you think?
I think so.
You milk a cat?
Yeah.
Cats drink milk.
It's just a cyclical
cycle.
process.
I ever told you about my... I wasn't very good at science.
I'm really scared where this is going.
No. I wasn't very good at science at school. We've
Milk
discussed
cycle, by the way, is a bike that I wouldn't want to ride.
Milk cycle.
Milk cycle.
the pedals would it's like one of them, those foam dome hats. And you get it where it's like a straw into your mouth. and you pedal and it creates milk and you can drink the milk.
That was not how I envisaged it at all, but 10 out of 10 for creativity.
Or would you have to have you pedal and you've got like breastfeeding things attached to you?
No.
And then it milks you as you cycle?
Why would you?
Cats are not meant to be milked by humans, and doing so could harm both the cat and the person attempting it.
Right. I just asking questions. I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying I want to milk a cat or a dog.
Why has someone written this as part of the question? Is it really possible to milk a cat? Feline fantasy. Why have you put that bit at the end? You need to.
You didn't need to tell everybody.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Look at him.
Or is that like the page we're on?
It's the page you're on.
Yeah, no, it's dedicated to a space called Feline Fantasy, a space for people who love cats. We share memes, pics, and questions.
And questions? I'm just asking questions. I'm not actually doing it. I'm just asking questions.
Right, we've been pussyfooting around long enough. Let's talk about SmackDown.
Okay.
Yeah, how do you do it?
Bianca Belair comes out to open this show after we see her and Cody walking backstage. And they're in Knoxville, of course. And she gets them to do Rocky Top.
Yeah. People are into it.
Nice moment for her, shouting at her mum and dad in the crowd.
Yep.
And she says, loves being back in Knoxville. They show up and show out for her. This is her safe space. She's come back here to heal. She's still got the bandages on her broken hand. She says, well, I'm not 100%. I promise you I'm doing everything so I can get right back in this ring, so I can continue to show people why I'm the EST of Tennessee and of WWE. And she says, welcome to Friday Night SmackDown. And she's then interrupted by Naomi coming out. She walks down to the ring. She said she was so happy that Belair's back on SmackDown. Fans aren't happy to see Naomi, I should say.
No.
Belair's like, not really the time, to be honest. She's getting booed out of the building. And Naomi says, I think about what happened between us every single day. Belair's like, what do you want from me? And she's begging for forgiveness. She says, look, I've been trying to communicate with you. I've been ringing, texting, messaging, etc. So I ended up just going to your parents' house. And Bianca Belair was like, you did what? Yeah, I went to your parents' house earlier on, but no one was there, so I let myself in. Or broke in, basically, and stared at some of your photos when you were happy. And that reminded me when we were tag team champions. And Belair's like, well, first of all, that's really weird and freaked me out a little bit. But also, you betrayed my trust. You look what you did to Jade Cargill. You ever do anything near my family again, by the way, I'll do worse to you than what you did to Jade Cargill. Naomi's great, like crying, real tears coming out. But she pulls herself together and there's that just sinister look coming. Credit to Naomi. Like when I first thought about her turning heel, I was going to be like, I thought it was going to be basically like John Cena turning heel. It's like, we all kind of really like you. But she's got this down, this sinister look of like, and she suddenly goes from, like, please can we be friends again, to be a real shame if you and your mum are in a wheelchair. Like, Jesus.
Heavy heat line.
Be bad if something happened right here, right now, and you think, Bianca's not 100%. But Jade Cargill comes out, not necessarily to make the save, just because she loves beating up Naomi. Mm-hmm. She comes down. There's a little moment, a great, real, like, oh, there's something there. Little look between Jade Cargill and Bianca as Jade's beating up Naomi. And she chucks Naomi out the ring. And Cargill wants to continue doing what she's doing. But Nia Jax's music hit, and you're like, oh, yeah, the triple threat.
Not a complete disaster, but I thought some of this was like disaster adjacent. I'll do the positive stuff first, because I too felt something for that obvious frisson that still exists between these three. What's been lost along the way. You felt it, you bought it. When Bianca, I really liked that segment that time when Bianca came like dressed for a funeral and just allowed Jade the way to go and beat up Naomi, as if to say, like, I'm going to have to wash my hands of this, aren't I? I don't feel good about it. Remember, like the pre-WrestleMania thing, she had her own title match to think about, and she's like, what's happened here is so far beyond what I could comprehend. Go and do what you got to do. And I'm glad they've kept that alive. This is a good WWE story in a time where I am starting to lose faith a bit in the machine, and they are holding on to these old grudges and it's not that old, it's only pre-WrestleMania, but these disputes that cannot just go away. They're not, like, stuff isn't just being waved away because it was 2 months ago or because there was a payoff or whatever. They are actually you know, that wrestling thing where like, well, Jade Cargill's beaten Naomi at WrestleMania, so that's 6 months where she tried to kill her. Oh, we're good now.
Yeah.
We're square. It's not. It's very personal. It's very raw, and it's damaged, perhaps forever, a relationship between Bianca and Jade, which itself was starting to feel increasingly tenuous as well. So I really like that. I do feel something for that. And maybe that's because like the big three were a cool act as well, and you're kind of mourning what's happened there between those three. Did like that. I just felt that this was like, in terms of the content that Naomi was forced to deliver, and then the delivery, which I will credit, like it was a performance. It was a like heart and soul display by Naomi, but I just didn't really buy it. I feel like sometimes both those things can be true.
Yeah,
I can be impressed with the person putting forth their best, and I can simultaneously not really believe it. I don't know what it was. It was just a little bit of an overreach, perhaps. Like she has gone headfirst into the dark side, and maybe that's the point. Maybe it's right. She's gone off the deep end now. Like there was a point where she was justifying her behavior to herself when she attacked Jade. She was like, you know what? There was a greater good for me here. Where's my opportunity? And now it's just villain. And just baddie, isn't she? She's just a nasty piece of work. And like the approach with caution was very on the nose. But I was like, I like that. I'm sick of being like overlooked. I actually quite like that as a character direction, even if some of it was a little bit like, I don't know, a bit obvious, a bit petrol-y. I don't really know what this is. Like, maybe we can hang out and be friends. I don't know, Naomi. It's a bit funny. Well, I thought you were going to say that. I did some breaking and entering. I'm going to put you in a wheelchair with your mom. Whoa!
Yeah.
Like, whoa! I don't know. Like, maybe the escalation is the point. Maybe that's the character now. I just thought it was all a bit overthought and overacted and like cheesy. Started better than it ended.
Well, it led into this one of two awesome triple threats for Money in the Bank qualifiers.
Yeah.
It was Naomi versus Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax.
TV Nia, isn't it? Safe pair of hands.
Naomi's beating up Cargill in the middle of the ring when I think we went to a break and came back, and then she's biting at her hands and fingers and stamping on her, and she hits a split splash from the second rope, but Cargill grabs the bottom rope. Jax comes back in, hits a hip attack on Jade Cargill. Naomi takes Jax out, though, just slams her on the apron. And Naomi came in off the second rope, but Jade Cargill caught her. Fall-away slam on Naomi. She also Samoan dropped Cargill and headbutted Naomi. Jax Samoan dropped Cargill and headbutted Naomi. She hit a leg drop on both of them. That looked great. Threw Jade to the outside and hit a second rope leg drop on Naomi that for a split second looked like it might win the match. A great kick out at the last second from Naomi. Naomi and Jax team up to take on Cargill. And then obviously Naomi tries to pin Cargill and Nia Jax is like, what are you doing? I thought we were a team. Cargill fires up, hits some splashes, hits a spine buster on Jax, but Naomi immediately hits her with a Meteora. Cargill hits Jaded on Naomi. And I think this was the moment where she's celebrating the win and Nia Jax just runs her over, basically. They're all down. Jax goes to the second rope. Cargill cuts her off. Jax fights her off and hits a double crossbody on Naomi and Cargill. Jax still can't pin them. She hit a Samoan drop on Naomi from the middle rope. But Cargill, awesome. It looked amazing. This was shot really well. Cargill flies in with a top rope frog splash to get to break that up and get a near fall. Then they're like fighting on the turnbuckles, the three of them. In the end, Nia Jax powerbombs Cargill, who superplexes Naomi. Tower of Doom sort of spot. Jax puts Cargill and Naomi on top of each other, goes to the Annihilator. Naomi moves, Jax hits it on Cargill, and then suddenly a rolling crucifix from Naomi. She wins. Great addition to the Money in the Bank ladder match. Real surprise. I thought Jade was nailed on the winner here. But yeah, really happy with this match and the conclusion of it.
This was quietly a really, really good bit of business. You cannot watch this match and claim anything other than that Nia Jax was the glue here. Like, she had quite the task on her hands because she was situational heel against Jade, situational babyface against Naomi, kind of the least likely to win. So every near fall she was getting, she had to fight for it to get it off the audience because people, you've just had Naomi come out and cut this promo. They are telling you that she's this focused character. Jade Cargill doesn't lose much. So they are she's the third of the three that stands this chance to win. And yet so many of the near falls or the like close to victory moments were set up in service of Nia Jax. And again, it all depends on who she's pinning as whether or not the fans like that or not. So there was all of this flip-flopping that she had to negotiate. She also was the one that had to feed the Jade Cargill comeback.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of like decimated Naomi a couple of times. As you say, it's like almost a bit of a runner, isn't it? She's going to beat up Naomi. Going to beat up John Cena. Yeah. She's going to beat up Naomi. So if you're going to do a Jade Cargill babyface fire-up comeback, it's got to be on Nia Jax because that's where the bigger threat lies. So I was really impressed by that as well. Really cool and innovative little finish. Yeah. Like the heel just was like, well, it's still a finisher, so you can take that, thanks very much, and I'll pick the bones. Like opportunistic, but quite smart as well. Yeah. Like a surprise package from the promo that I particularly wasn't into, and the sense of, is this going to be a Naomi Bianca Belair program that I'm not going to enjoy? Ugh. Like, that's the worst case scenario. The match was the best one coming out the other side. Enjoyed this a lot. Quite pleased Naomi's qualified. I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater here. I like this heel turn more than I don't. I just feel like they're not quite getting the tone of the character correct. It's a bit inconsistent with who this character is. But
an outside bet though.
Yeah, I enjoy her as a heel. I'm with you there. Like, it's definitely of a care for me, pending her even qualifying on Raw tonight. And she'll certainly be like the sentimental favourite, I think, as well. But after that, I think I'm back in Naomi as well.
Solo Sikoa is walking backstage with JC Mateo. They run into R-Truth, which is weird to look at now, knowing what we know. Yeah. Talking to little Jimmy. Sikoa's making fun of him talking to ghosts, basically. And Truth, in his own inimitable way, turns to JC Mateo and is like, I've literally never seen you before in my entire life. He gets confused and thinks that JC is Solo's son, calls him Husky, and he wants to take him to the ring and teach him a lesson. Solo's like, okay. Yep. And Truth says, you're thick-boned, this family, and walks off. And they're looking forward to killing another member of the roster, basically. But Jacob Fatu says, you two do what you like. You've got the Money in the Bank qualifier. You know what I mean?
Sure did. Either the intro, what are we calling this new bloodline? They're not new bloodline, they're not anything anymore, are they? There's no name, or like Solo and Friends. Like we need a name for this group.
I'll leave it with me.
Yeah. You mean like literally right now, leave it with you?
No. Solo Mateo. No.
We'll get that. The Solo Mateo.
Solo Mateo.
Take it for Solo. It is weird.
Riding solo. Yep. But there's more of them.
There was that car poster for SummerSlam last year.
Yeah.
Riding Solo. That'll do for now.
Yeah.
Got it. The Solo Riders.
Yes.
Can't think of anything else like that. Yep.
Was he on a motorbike there or a car or what was that?
He's a low rider.
I didn't know what he was doing.
I did a low rider from Mercedes.
Oh, okay. I see. We're tired today, aren't we? Yeah, I'm feeling it. It's weird to talk about now. It's our true segment, isn't it? It's just like
not dead. Again,
he's not dead.
It's weird to talk about like in these hushed tones.
But it is weird. Like you're watching this and you think, there's a bit of development. It's R-Truth's next thing moving on from John Cena. You kind of got to program him out of this biggest thing that he's done. And if there's any character that can almost entirely no-sell the consequences and actions of the past month, it'll be him. So he does. And there's I was prepared for like a 7-week series of bits with him and Jimmy Uso. And if I get that, it's because he's seeing out his contract.
Yes.
Weird.
No, it's just just riding solo. I was trying to see if there's any other songs with solo in the title. They've all just got the word solo in it. Understandably, really.
Yeah. We'll get there with something. Solo Mateo.
That's not a name.
What are the other ones?
Fatu. Tama. Yeah, we've got
Fatu and Tama. And don't forget Tonga. Or you'll get it wrong.
Does it go to the Bodger and Badger theme?
I like this.
Solo Mateo, and Jacob Fatu. Don't forget Tommy Tongan.
Solo, Mateo, and never far away. But the other ones are off at the moment.
Yeah.
Big
That's how
fan.
you would
Big
get there.
fan. Yeah. We're tired, so we'll just hit the emergency class.
Everybody knows Solo loves crack and banter. Don't watch him work because it's boring as Solo Mateo, la 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 la. Tama and Tonga are never far away.
Yeah, because
We've done it.
Tonga, yeah.
That's good. We don't have a name, but we've got the Bodger and Badger
that as a
theme.
name? That's how they announce them at every show.
Yeah, the whole
Making
song.
their way to the ring. Solo Mateo.
Who's who in this scenario with Bodger and Badger?
Oh, Solo and Mateo.
No. This.
Me and you?
Yeah.
I think Gut says you're Badger.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be the one that gets us into more mischief.
Mm-hmm.
You bloody love mashed potato.
I do.
You've always said that. But I think you're both. I think you're both, and I'm just watching.
You're just the guy in the middle.
Is there a third guy?
The guy who's doing them, mate.
Oh. I've got my head up your mate.
We're doing one of them. He's not doing
what
Bodger,
did
is
you
he?
say? Yeah,
I think
no,
Bodger's
he's
pretty
fine.
Priest.
Bodger's got control of his own. It's got like a human marionette. Bodger's doing it, but like, she's no.
Can you milk a Bodger and a Badger?
Can you milk a badger? Can you milk a badger?
I wouldn't advise it.
Badger's like
Badger's
our coyote, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. Badger's. I reckon a Badger.
It's Badger milking season. What's this?
Excuse me.
Badger milking is not without risk.
No, pal.
No.
It's from.
Oh no.
I sense that this might not be true.
Oh, yeah, badger milk. No, that's not real, is it? No. Weekly World News. That's one of the world's most famous parody news websites, isn't it? I think it's like an Onion type thing.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I don't know.
You almost had me.
Yeah, the badger's there. We haven't got anything harder than a badger in the wild, apart from the odd grass snake in the dales.
Depends what time of the day you come to see me, if you know.
Knock out an otter. No, I think it's badger, otter, adder.
Honestly, badgers are lethal.
Yeah, they're the only ones.
Proper dangerous.
I've never encountered one. I'd be scared, but like they're not around much, are they?
That's what they want you to think.
That's it.
Geordies as well.
Yes, they are.
We're everywhere. That's right. Everywhere.
SmackDown GM is there with Chelsea Green, who's very conveniently got a sign over her face, her own face.
Yeah.
Because it is revealed she has a wonderful multicolored mask on because of what happened at Saturday night's main event. Busted her nose all over the place.
She's already made a great bit out of this.
Yeah. They want actions done by the SmackDown GM, who's like, no. But it ends up setting up Alba Fyre versus Zelina Vega for later on in the show.
Yeah. It sure does, doesn't it? Can't wait to get there. Roller coaster ride.
Byron Saxton chats to Tiffany Stratton. Simply put, she says, I've been in the position with the briefcase before. Funny said she said this before.
Yeah.
Except this time she's interrupted by Naomi and Alexa Bliss, who both go, it's me you need to watch out for.
They've not really booked Tiffany Stratton since WrestleMania.
She had that class match with Nia.
No, but like there's no sort of... Yeah, she's awaiting a Money in the Bank winner, I guess, and maybe that's just a... But then there was a Saturday night's main event cycle. It's not like there's been no avenue for them to have a big sort of like title feud.
No, there's not. I couldn't necessarily immediately say, right, I tell you once Money in the Bank's out of the way, though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you who's
they're not.
coming
That's
for
it.
her.
They're not like there's been no
Maybe
obvious.
they're going to do a draft then. I wonder.
Maybe. Yeah, it's. Yeah, I'm not suspicious. Isn't the word? It's. I sometimes just think, especially on SmackDown, people get forgotten. But it does. This is my point. It's not about sort of who she's like wrestled since or whatever. It's more the fact that like there's been no obvious attempt to create rivalries or beef. There is a little something. Alexa Bliss appearing on camera here when there was that little hangover of the stuff with Charlotte Flair, and now like
they were in the ring last.
Charlotte and Tiffany have it's a simultaneous unspoken mutual respect, and they're going to fight again one day. Aren't they? That's where they're at. And Alexa and Charlotte are probably going to come together at some point as well. She'll have something don't get me wrong, she'll have something for Evolution 2.
Absolutely.
But I'm surprised that they haven't seemingly led you down any paths with Tiffany Stratton of late.
Yeah.
She's felt like
she
this.
Defended against Nia Jax, kicked the chair right in her face.
Yeah. That was something.
Everyone, to be fair, if that was the case, I would understand people being like, don't go near Tiffany for a while.
It's another TV match of the year from Nia, isn't it? That's all she does. She stacks them up. The thing is, and I would get this, there has been decidedly more effort and time and investment put into the United States title.
Yes.
Which is absolutely fine. But my God, is that already feeling like a failed experiment on an almost dangerous, damaging level.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to give them the benefit of the doubt. But then you could probably, there's 3 hours of frigging time. What am I doing giving Road Dogg the benefit of the doubt? Game Triple H, grab the wheel. There's 3 frigging hours.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like it? Make the time.
We get a great vignette for the NXT North American title match happening at Worlds Collide this coming weekend. And then it was time for R-Truth versus JC Mateo. And it's funny because when I pointed out that that clearly wasn't actually going to be JC Mateo's wrestling gear, I saw people online saying, oh my God, they've ruined him. They're going to make him wrestle in that. And I said, no, they did an impromptu match and he was wrestling in the gear that he was just randomly wearing at the time. And wouldn't you know it, he's actually got wrestling gear. So good to note that one down.
This is Jeff Cobb stuff as well, isn't it? Might as well keep it.
Who?
JC. He got a game made with his initials on.
Phew. It battered him, obviously. There was a hope spot briefly for, it was like a 2-minute match, but a hope spot for Truth. He hits some shoulder blocks. Actually, Mateo came back with a standing moonsault, which is still ridiculous for him, and a senton, but Truth moved out the way of the senton, hit the 5-knuckle shuffle, but when tried to lift him up for the FUAA, he collapses, understandably, with the weight of JC Mateo, and JC hits a... I do love that finish, Tour of the Islands, the way he stops halfway through. It's very much End of Days-esque, isn't it? Post-match, JC keeps killing him. Jimmy Uso runs out to make the save. Because, Solo's going to spike him, I should say. And Solo calls him off. Because he sort of tries to negotiate. He doesn't jump out of the ring when Jimmy slides in. Still wants to try and negotiate with him, but at the moment his back's turned, JC jumps him, and Solo's like, leave him.
It's trying to win back a bit of face with Jimmy, maybe. Probably identifying that Jimmy is completely by himself and without a belt, as his brother goes on to great heights. So, he'll be on the show later on, and he's going to be in this big match at Money in the Bank. What are you up to, Big Jim? They're probably going to peck away at that one for a little bit. Solo's dancing in this was a treat. Everybody knows Solo loves crack and banter.
He's
That's
found his lane, hasn't he?
That's his deal. Do you think, when JC really lays in those stiff shots, really sort of pounding, a mauling, would you say those mashed potatoes?
Exactly, yeah. That's what I knew you were going with that one, yeah.
Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Them, whatever. We might have talked about this on the SmackDown coverage before. I apologise for repeating ourselves. It's going to happen. You cover this much SmackDown, it's going to come up. The consistency of the mashed potato in Bodger and Badger was weird. Do you remember it? It was more cream-coloured slime, wasn't it?
I thought I wouldn't love that sort of mashed potato if my mum made that, to be honest.
I mean, there was such vast quantities of it. It kind of won me round. I felt
a little bit sick. It's like that episode of The Queen's Nose where she just wishes for more spaghetti or whatever and just keeps coming. And they're like, I don't know, kills people or something. I don't know what happens. I turned it off. I got too scared.
The spaghetti just keeps happening.
It's just like, I wish, that was a lovely plate of spaghetti. I wish I had endless spaghetti. And it's just like, and it's like, that's going to destroy the entire world.
She didn't. The Queen's Nose.
You ever rub any 50p's just on the off chance?
Yeah. Very influential that was for a bit. Never worked.
Queen's Nose, Demon Headmaster. That was the Demon Headmaster was kind of the traitors of its time.
It was.
The goat.
The Queen's Nose, she didn't think it through, did she? Straight away, we're like, I wish for a second 50p that does this.
Yeah.
Because then you always want one on, you might lose it. And there was...
I've spent it!
Yeah, every now and then there was an adventure. I was like, wasn't bloody Queen's Nose 50? It was like, well, if you got several, that's fine. She never... It's the same problem, the Bernard's Watch conundrum.
Bernard's Watch.
You cannot have a Queen's Nose or a Bernard's Watch and not, do everything. He's like...
Is Bernard from Bernard's Watch going to die at age 20 to everyone else because he's aged?
He accelerated. They never
Because he paused the time, I remember, when he broke his arm to allow that to heal so he could go on holiday or something.
So then like months have passed in his life.
Yeah.
And then
So he's like 25 and everyone else just thinks he's like...
Bernard's death watch. You just like...
Right, Bernard. How old are you again?
Did the finale like involve the watch getting smashed up or something? Or is he...
Oh, I thought it was I couldn't remember. I thought one of them, I remember, he was going to America and they just forgot to tell him. So he was like, oh, God, I'm going to have to go to America and give up Bernard's watch. And they were like, no, you get American Bernard's watch now you're here. And it was like, oh, the two of them met. They're like two watchmen or whatever.
There's like an American Bernard.
It's like,
American Bernard!
No, Bernard was going to America. The guy who like would make sure he couldn't be like, I wish to, kill someone or whatever. Right. Like, you can't do that, Bernard.
I had no idea there was this much lore with Bernard's watch.
Yeah.
See?
I just assumed it would be one of those things where they get bored and it would never get finished. Like shows that used to happen with shows, didn't it? It'd just be run forever and then they would never get finished.
He definitely went to America at some point. I'm not sure if that was the end of it, the whole thing. But let us know.
What would you rather have? The watch or the Queen's nose?
Queen's nose.
But didn't Queen's nose stuff sort of kind of come back and bite you on the arse?
Like accidental, hilarious consequences.
It's the usual, like, the Bedazzled, the film, where it's like, oh, you want that, do you? Well, twist.
Yeah. Oh, is that right? The Queen. So
if you're the biggest dick in the world, you've got a whale stick now or whatever, I don't know.
You got to walk around.
Get out.
What if I could milk myself, hypothetically? Queen's nose, what do you want? Milk myself? Who doesn't? And I can also have Bernard's watch because this is going to take some time.
I'd like to make sure I'm not going to be disturbed when this happens.
What are you like? Bernard's watch, right? I get it. I do get the benefit of being able to stop time and have everybody at your whim. Like, you're the king. Like, if you stop time and then you start again, you're like, bloody hell, I can stop time. Go to like the most powerful person and say, oh, I'm in charge now. You and what? This watch. What's that going to... And then you unfreeze them and they still don't know that they've been like, what the bloody hell did you do then? Well, it was with the watch. I don't believe you. It's been an endless...
It's like taking a photo of a mime, innit?
See, you've got it all wrong.
Yes, I've never heard that.
No, everyone looks like a frozen, or it's not mime, a statue, human statue. Look at him. Look how good he is at staying still. Everyone's staying still in that photo.
Everyone's still.
We took this picture of us. Yeah, those people that like that's the trick. Silver painted people.
Yeah.
So you went wrong with your Bernard's watch thing. Like, why would you go and why would you like announce yourself?
Yeah.
Never
reveal it.
You can literally stop time, go and do everything you need to do. Basically, find the bank that's open. Go and get all the money
Rob
from the
it.
bank. Yeah. Go. You're
You're
telling me you're not committing crimes.
Yeah. Oh no, you want money.
You want money.
Money.
You make sure you got your money.
That's all I was thinking of the Queen's nose.
Life. Yeah.
Just like
I don't need to tell the king nothing.
Do you know
if
what
I
it
had
is?
Bernard's watch, I wouldn't waste time talking to him. Put it that way.
Yeah, I guess Bernard. I didn't care for Bernard, but like the
Bit of a wet lettuce, wasn't he?
Yeah, the thing with the what, like when people, what superpower would you want, and then they pick invisibility, and you're like, that's a bit off.
Yeah.
Like I feel that way about Bernard and his
Fly,
watch.
innit? It's fly.
It's fly. Yeah, you want to fly. Like, what's your game? What's your end game, Bernard? Yeah, but WOOF.
What's your end game?
I'm sorry, you just...
Do you ever watch WOOF?
No.
You're both a bit too young for WOOF.
What?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right, there was a show called WOOF, right? So certain listeners and viewers will know exactly what I'm talking about, and I actively look forward to the tweet. Talk to me about
I don't
WOOF.
think they're on Twitter if they know what you're talking about.
No, there was 3 series, mate. Off. And it was a boy. At first it was a ginger boy, one of you people, and then it was like a lad with a bowl cut, and then it was, I think there was a third WOOF, but it might have been girl WOOF. I'd grown out of WOOF by then. Where like the main character, one day turns out can turn into a dog. Right. And like, I feel like there's always like one character that knows.
I've definitely seen the introduction to WOOF with the little speech bubble thing.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Right. The theme is now playing in my head, right? But like, so anyways, like one character an adult character must know. And they're like, you what? And he's like, yeah, I can turn into a dog. And it's that NXT thing. It's like, should we tell the authorities that by touching a referee's leg, they can dribble black blood? No, we'll just try and live the rest of our lives as normal as possible. But then wouldn't you know it, every now and then they'll find themselves in a situation where turning into a dog is really beneficial. There'll be like an adventure situation.
I mean, you could say turning into a dog means staying in the doghouse, as it says on this DVD copy of Boy Called WOOF.
Right, okay.
Part-time boy, part-time dog, full-time fun.
Problem. The program makers deemed it necessary that I have to be so careful here, when the dog turned back into a boy, the boy, and I'm going to say about 14, stark Billy Bollock naked.
Right.
I don't know why. Right.
Well, so not wearing clothes.
Right, but you've invented a world in which somebody can turn into a dog. You can invent the rule where the clothes morph with the body. You're applying a rule to a situation where it has never happened. We have this thing where it's like, well, we need to tell the authority. NASA, surely somebody needs to know a boy turns into dog. This is enormous. Humanity has never known science
also,
like
on the
it.
cover of A Boy Called Wolf, the dog's wearing clothes.
Right. It is. So there would always be two little, oh, bloody hell, in WOOF, right? There would be the first situation
Is it
where
the
it's
one
like...
where he's got the suit on, Wilbourn?
Yeah.
Little suit.
Right, exactly. That's the first boy, right? And then would you believe that the dog's in the clothes?
I'd just stay as the dog if I looked like him.
Right. So the school picture in it. So like
He looks quite ill.
the first part of WOOF would always be like, I know what'll solve this problem.
A dog.
Let me turn into a dog. Right? That was the thing. And so anyway, it turns into a dog, solves the problem, whatever. And then it's like, what? Everything's turned out great. I forgot, let's say the boy's called Barry, I can't remember. Where's Barry gone? He's always not around when like this dog solves all the problems. Oh well, never mind. And then like Barry rocks up in a hedge. Oh, I'm naked again. Like and then there's also sort of like a second humorous adventure of how he gets home without being spotted, arrested, whatever. You would think he would dog all the way back to his bedroom, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But it's always like, or maybe did he
have control of?
I don't think he had control over when he was going to morph back into a boy, which I mean, when you were trying to solve the problems as a dog, that is high risk, high reward, isn't it? Yeah. Please don't morph me back now, please. I'm solving the problem on a Ferris wheel. If I morph back into this fully nude, this is a real problem. Anyway, Wolf, it was only the show Bernard's watch could have been. Bernard's dog, if you will.
Of course.
Queen's Nose probably cleared both, but it was a bit like, I'm a BBC person. I am.
Well, I thought you were a WhatCulture person. What's happened there?
I care deeply for the increasingly troubled institution that is the British Broadcasting Company. But the kids' shows were a little bit Tory.
Yeah.
Queen's Nose, Blue
obviously.
Peter. Like I love the idea, the intent, and the ambition of News Round.
Yeah.
But like who the was talking about News Round in the playground the next day? I don't know what's going on in the old Sudan crisis. I don't know, mate. I was watching Funhouse right there.
Yeah. Heart Attack was on, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Zap.
Yeah.
I was watching
that's
Zap.
the best.
Oh.
I will say we are an hour into the 3 hours.
Oh,
of
sorry.
SmackDown,
Right, yeah.
Next up,
I wonder if you could milk WOOF.
Street Profits come out to a new theme. Thoughts?
Bad.
Yeah.
Worse than the first.
Montez Ford likes a lot of things from Knoxville, Tennessee.
His wife, Bianca Belair.
Yeah. He said this tag team division, we're part of the greatest tag team division on any brand.
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
Dawkins talks about how they've got everyone coming from right now. DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, and now the Wyatts. Montez Ford does his best Shane McMahon impression. Sick! Will defend these titles against anybody. They are interrupted by the former NXT Tag Team Champions, that being Axiom. And Nathan Fraser.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Who says, all right, since you're out about defending those titles, me and my amigo didn't exactly get a fair shake last week. And Montez Ford says, look, you've been on a roll, guys, but let's be honest, we had you beat last week. Axiom's like, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Maybe go f*** yourself. Thanks to the Wyatts, we'll never know.
Okay, amigo, chill.
Yeah. Thanks to the Wyatts, we'll never know. And Fraser wants them to run things back. Motor City Machine Guns come out and say, you've never beaten us. You've never beaten Fraxium. DIY come out. Candice LeRae does the talking, calls the Motor City Machine Guns nerds. Chris Sabin says, shut up, Candice LeRae. Coco's like, hey, whoa. There's a conspiracy against us. Start talking about the Wyatt Sicks, and Tommaso Ciampa's like, shut up and talk about them. Mm-hmm. Something there. But Ciampa says, you've killed this tag division that we built, or the tag titles, the prestige of them. Let's have a moment of silence for the tag division. Of course, the moment they do that, the lights go out. When they come back up, the Wyatt Sicks are there and they kill everybody, dominating this tag division, the Wyatt Sicks. I will mention later on, so I don't forget later, there was an Uncle Howdy vignette, and he says they won't stop until they get what they're owed. What's that? Tag gold?
Tag title shot. Maybe they want a qualifier.
Yes. Contracts.
Yeah, this is fine, isn't it? Like, the Wyatts.
People love the Wyatt Sicks.
Yeah, the Wyatts have got that crowd. They came up for this, to be fair. It was a promo train interrupted by the Wyatts. It was no more, it was no less, and you've got at least one, if not two units from the Wyatts that add to this division now. Uninspiring. I would get the guns.
Tag division is so deep now, though. This showcased it.
It is deep. It is deep. I fear that it might have already peaked with that TLC. I don't know. But Fraxium are the ones. Fraxium are the ones, but the Wyatts are what we're getting.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, not sorry if you like the Wyatts. You know, that's fine too.
Then we got a nice surprise. One of our boys showed up on the show, an NXT star. I mean, he's going to be a main roster star in no time at all. Javon Evans tagging with Rey Fenix against Los Garza. Great to see Javon Evans on there. Obviously, Ethan Page is on commentary because Ethan, Javon, and Rey, along with the Laredo Kid, all fighting for the North American title at Worlds Collide this weekend. Evans looked great in there, I thought. He came in immediately, hit like a big drop kick and a cutter on Angel. Fenix comes in and they hit stereo super kicks on Humberto, who came off the top and just gets nailed as he lands in the middle of the ring. They go to a break, come back. Evans is in trouble, desperately trying to get to a hot tag. Eventually, he has to just kick Berto in the head, gets the hot tag to Fenix. Angel comes in as well, and Fenix takes them both out. There's a double springboard moonsault on Angel. Fenix looked great. Evans comes in, hit a huge springboard clothesline as well. They're all down after a Berto super. I think it was a super kick to Javon Evans. They set up for their finisher on Evans where they like chuck him out the corner. But Rey Fenix breaks it up, walks the rope, stomps on Angel. Evans hits this wild dive, flipping dive off the top of the turnbuckle to take out Los Garza on the outside of the ring. Page stands up. He's on commentary, as I mentioned. Gets in the faces of Javon Evans and Rey Fenix. But with the referee distracted, Page throws Fenix into the commentary desk, takes him out of the match. Evans knocks him out, gets back in the ring, takes back over in the match, goes up top, but Santos this time distracts the referee, and Page pushes Evans off the top to allow Los Garza to hit their finish and pin Javon Evans.
Yeah. I think, I'm bold enough to say this now, that we can finally apportion blame accurately on the current state of things in WWE, and especially on SmackDown. And I didn't want to do this for a while, but I don't think anybody's being bold enough to say it. I think so at high time we said, it's all AEW's fault.
Yeah.
They're ruining Fed. Not just because WWE are signing all wrestlers back. Don't want almost none of them. This theoretically brilliant, forbidden door world that AEW created, as the challenger brand should, by the way, where you, on any given week, could be, we're beating up the Paragon, and we're the Don Callis family, and we know the Paragon haven't got any friends, and it's like, you didn't count on Tomohiro and Hiroshi Tanahashi. What the that's happening in WWE. I'm not daft. I understand that this was some attempt to be economical with your TV time. There is a Worlds Collide pay-per-view. You have, I would suggest cynically, gotten in bed, if not bought the whole goddamn bed, AAA, and you're running a show and there's loads of overlaps and you want this wrestler to appear here so you know who they are, or if you very, very casual viewers don't, then they can just tune into YouTube or Netflix and watch Worlds Collide, and it's we want you to know more of these wrestlers because they're all our wrestlers now, and it's but why that was such a problem in AEW for such a long time, and is less of a one now, was because on any given week you could be asked to give a toss about somebody and then not again. And how often did we pick on that? It's right, I was just having to maybe this is one of the things where it's oh God, I'm a stupid wrestling fan. I'm advocating for the fact that we're stupid. I don't think I am. I just think the lack of focus was such a massive problem for AEW. And it was done from a good place. It was done from this idea that was but there's the opportunity to showcase X, Y, and Z. Why would you not? There's the opportunity for them to have a great match. Why would you not? And instead of Like, I feel like those were the easy questions. Well, yeah, why would you not? Who doesn't love a great match? Everybody loves a great match. I understand that.
Yeah.
This was almost that at points. This, like, bordered on
great stuff, yeah.
Bordered on a couple of whiffs, but it bordered on a great match. Like, Javon Evans had a good, not great night, but in terms of an exhibition of some of the things you'll see at Worlds Collide, it served its purpose. Like, but it's a fundamentally, if you're watching SmackDown, it's another, like, kind of reminder that nobody on the show is so captivating and interesting that they should get the TV time instead, because we can just hire a bunch of guys out there, do a bunch of moves or whatever. Like, they sell a bit of Worlds Collide, sell a bit of these guys, and off they go back to NXT. It's getting a bit messy. Like, I really feel that the landscape is messy at the moment, and there are examples of how that can work sometimes. I would say maybe I'm biased because I like her so much, but the situation currently with Stephanie Vaquer, where they've already chucked her on TV a couple of times, got over massively. I said, I'll get the belt off her and get on Raw straight away. That's quite unconventional, but it might work.
Yeah.
It might work really, really well. But it's a lot of this stuff feels like pointless busy work. You can watch this match and it's like, oh, these characters, why? Oh, because they're wrestling at Worlds Collide. What about when that's finished? It doesn't matter. Like, Ray Fenix has been parachuted into this match to make it even more exciting than it was going to be in a 4-way. Is he going to win the belt? Probably not. But like, if he does, what's actually mean? That means he has to go down to NXT and defend the title, which means he can't work on SmackDown for a bit. And people are already kind of losing faith in the SmackDown run and are looking to get the Lucha Brothers back together, and that's going to get in the way of that. None of the directions are interesting. That's what happens. It's a net negative because none of the directions are interesting. And we were here with AEW, and I think tightening up and focusing has made such an enormous difference.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's gone in the opposite. It's like a shower head off the hook, just being left to spin around in the bath, which the author Giles Corran wants to use as an analogy for a spaffing penis, because he's a psycho. And that's what I think of when I think of a shower head going like that.
Yeah.
Just thinking about that there. That's what comes in my head when I think of a shower head going wild. I don't like it.
And sort of symptomatic of what you were talking about there, we got the women's US champion Zelina Vega versus Alba Fyre, which is a variation of a match I feel like we've seen every week for the past 6 weeks, if not more, with the wonderful Chelsea Green. And I really like the Secret Service as well, but there was no doubt in my mind, and this match went 11 minutes, and it was just...
Scrap.
There's a pendulum bullhammer that was nice, that Wade Barrett called, from Alba Fyre.
It's heatless, man.
Yeah.
This didn't get out for nout.
There was a great swanton bomb out of Alba Fyre from the top. No one reacted.
Not a thing.
There's a spot where Vega ends up outside the ring, and Chelsea Green, having previously jumped onto the apron and yelled and tried to interfere in the match, gets Vega. Piper Niven's holding her. She's going to clock her with the mask. Of course, Vega moves and Green just nails Piper Niven with the mask. And inside, though, this hasn't affected Zelina Vega whatsoever. She hits a code red on Alba Fyre and gets the 1-2-3.
Zelina Vega has my sympathies a bit, because what are they really doing? They're telling you that she's little. They're hitting you over the head with that quite a lot. She's small. She's like...
I don't know what they're doing for either of them. I thought the best thing for Zelina Vega would have been to immediately move on to a different feud.
Yeah.
And the best thing for Chelsea Green would also have been to immediately move on to a different feud, if not be in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, I think there was a chance to lose upwards for Chelsea Green, wasn't there? And they've not taken it yet, at least. And the longer she is around Zelina Vega, the more that, like, I know the comparison's a thief of joy, but the comparison is obviously there. And it looks like stolen valor that Zelina Vega's got this title, because in every possible way, she's kind of been outperformed by the former champion.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's helping her. These reactions they're damning, quite honestly. Like, I know that WWE's got terrible entrance themes and nobody pops for anything unless they just are completely in love with the wrestler.
And Julia's taking the title off at the moment they have that match.
Well, that felt like it was made clear, which is, again, pretty lousy booking because she's in Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Like, so I wouldn't have done that.
Then again, you could argue Julia's hedging her bets. So, like, I've just got here, man. I want to win the world title, but I also wouldn't mind winning that US title as
I guess. Maybe.
This isn't like, if...
Yeah.
I don't know who else.
Yeah,
Alexa Bliss was like, actually, I've got fancy the US title as well.
I suppose. And I guess you can use the briefcase to cash in on the US title. So
but yes.
But by the letter of the law now, you can do
the women's
that.
has only ever been used to the women's title, though, right?
Yeah.
Why would you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you just cash in on a US title that's been defended in an open challenge every week?
It would be really stupid, wouldn't it?
Just in theory.
Narratively daft. Yeah, it's
Is that Vince still?
No. That was Triple H because he wanted that done and dusted.
Because, of course, yeah.
Austin Theory. Yeah. The gag was that he would come out and try and cash in all the time and just get battered by like Roman and Brock and people
Tyson
like
Fury
that.
and people like that, yeah.
He wasn't on their level, so they just destroyed him, and then he was like, right, I'll do this instead, and he lost. And then he won the title in a straight-up match a month later anyway. It was all over the shop, that was. And this is too. I don't like it.
I'll tell you who's a bit of an outside bet for Money in the Bank, or I should say was until this match. Carmelo Hayes, because Miz and Melo are in the locker room, and Miz is like hyping him up, but also now reminding him, I gave up my chance. Think about what I've done with the Money in the Bank briefcase. I gave up my chance to be in Money in the Bank so you could be in there for us and make sure we are Mr. Money in the Bank. And Melo's like, what do you mean we? And he's like, who do you think got me here? And Miz obviously thinks it's him. And Melo's like, no, I worked hard to get here, basically. I do it better than anyone else. I am. And he tries to do the catchphrase. Miz doesn't do it. So there's problems for these two. Brought him onto the giant.
Yeah, this is one of the only things I like in the show, and it appears they're splitting them up so good.
Not yet, though. I thought it would cost him immediately in the match. Thankfully, that didn't happen.
I know, and I don't want to just be cynical to everything, but it's like, not yet. They're really going to drag out this Carmelo Hayes Miz split for that big match. Who the wants that? Like, if you're gonna commit to putting them together, commit to putting them together. If you're going to decide, actually, I don't like that anymore, split them up. Just do it. Like, and this felt like they're going to try Carmelo Hayes as a babyface again, which didn't really work, did it?
Put him with Trick. Bring Trick up.
Yeah.
And have him immediately be like to Miz,
yeah,
bye.
That would be a nice payoff for this, actually. Just put them back together as both as cocky heels now.
Yeah.
Because you've got to try and get something out. You've got to try and extract something from this.
We're not a tag team. We're not a heater for the other one. We're just looking out for each other because we're new around here and we don't know anyone.
Come on, Fed. Fix stuff.
Damian Priest comes out after this.
Like this.
He's put Drew's ass in the past. They fought for over a year. But despite the fact he still can't stand Drew, you can appreciate that he was a warrior in the cage. Nice Drew line under that, basically. But Priest has got his eyes on a championship. It's the US championship. It's the one held by Jacob Fatu. Priest says, he still respects him. Proud of you. Congratulations, he says to Jacob. But he doesn't respect... Well, he says he doesn't respect the crew you walk around with. Actually, he doesn't respect the crew that walks around with Jacob Fatu because he really knows the dynamic of this, really. If your family wants to get involved, they can get some too. He doesn't want to be a nickname anymore or moniker. He wants it to be a fact. He's El Campeon. And he has a little moment with Jacob Fatu, who's coming out for this triple threat as he walks to the back.
I enjoyed this. This is really, really simple, but for me, very effective. He has won the program that, again, in like imagined rankings, would set him up in line to have a justified request for a title shot. And he's just, as a babyface, being brave enough to call out a champion who is a killer. Like, it takes guts to call out Jacob Fatu. I want to watch a match between them. I think watching Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre has given me a thirst for what the chemistry would be in a similar setting with Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu getting that win is a feather in his cap, which, as a result, kind of puts over Damian Priest as being a somebody.
Yeah.
And I like the furthering of the, like, every single person seeing the obvious, including Jacob, that he's hanging around with complete losers and goons, but you cannot, it's family, so you cannot just tear yourself away. Like, that will be earned when he finally is separated from them. And every character along the way would have told him to move aside.
And we got one step closer as a result of what happened in this another awesome, as I say, triple threat Money in the Bank qualifier. Jacob Fatu, Andrade, and one half of him. Or him, I should say. Carmelo Hayes. Early on, Melo tries to throw Fatu into the ropes, but Fatu just punches him in the face, runs into the ropes, but Miz grabs Jacob's foot. Fatu ends up on the outside, and Andrade is busy with Melo. Suddenly, Miz is like, oh, bollocks. And Jacob Fatu super kicks him and smashes him with a hip attack against the barricade. That's the last we see of Miz. He's been tended to backstage once we come back from a break. Jacob is in the ring, tries for a hip attack on Andrade, but Andrade moves. He hits a double knees, Andrade does on Fatu, but then runs into something from Melo. Fatu fires up, takes a super kick from Andrade, There's a Spanish fly on Melo as he's coming off the second rope from Andrade. But Fatu gets involved, hits swantons on both of them, teases a moonsault, but Andrade pulls at his leg. And Andrade hits that double jump moonsault thing that he does on Jacob Fatu. Melo breaks it up. This is awesome chants, quite rightly ringing around already here. Melo hit a DDT.
Well, sorry, Melo was in there, so what was the chant?
This is all I see him.
That's what they're all saying.
Melo hit a DDT on both of them. Andrade hits a poison Rana on Jacob Fatu. That leaves Melo and Andrade in the ring. Fatu, as they fight on the outside, super kicks Melo, goes to hip attack Melo and Andrade, who is slumped against the barricade, but they both move and he goes flying through that. He's taken out as we go to another break. Fatu's out of it. Melo and Andrade are running back their Match of the Year series that they had last year. Jacob reappears, and then, there's helps with an assisted Spanish fly from Andrade to Melo by chucking him. And Fatu hits a swanton on Melo, but Andrade breaks it up. There's a nice spot where Andrade hit a back elbow on Fatu, who had Melo on his shoulders. And they both try and pin him, to which quite rightly the commentary went, who'd have won there? Mm-hmm. Solo and Mateo make their way to ringside, and Jacob Fatu actually he does have both of them on his shoulders for a Samoan drop. Melo gets off. Fatu missed a moonsault on Andrade. Melo hit nothing but net on Fatu, and Andrade and Melo trade some pin attempts. There's some great near falls in here. Fatu hit a spike DDT on Andrade, ran Melo into a corner, hip attack to him. Spike DDT again on Andrade. Double jump moonsault. But Sikoa jumps up on the apron and tells Jacob Fatu to do it again. Mateo's yelling at him as well. It's all getting very confused. And Mateo, as he's yelling, sees Jimmy Uso coming with the chair. He doesn't see him coming, I should say. But they get attacked to Mateo and Solo Sikoa by Jimmy Uso. And in all the confusion, Jacob Fatu is knocked out of the ring. Andrade hits the message on Melo and gets the 1-2-3. He's the one who qualifies for Money in the Bank.
Got to go down as a bit of an upset, that, hasn't it? Andrade winning and qualifying. We did say that it would be Jacob getting taken out, but I thought it would be Melo qualifying.
Yeah.
This was good. This was good. I kind of understand sometimes why Sid says it's hard to review Collision. This was a good match. It had consequences. The massive stipulation, huge addition to the pay-per-view, the PLE with Andrade. I love Jacob Fatu, but I am way more invested in the project of Jacob Fatu than I am simply the wrestler. Like, I like watching his brand of insanity.
Yes.
Whoa, Jacob's crackers. Is that anything? But in this match where he's the United States champion and Damian Priest set up something interesting with him, and the general solo beef stuff is interesting. Him qualifying for Money in the Bank when I didn't think it was going to be him wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
It was like, let's work until we get the excuse to get him out of the situation so that one of the other two win. I was surprised it was Andrade instead of Melo. It's made me think differently maybe about it's made me think differently about how they're going to book Andrade, but it seems like Melo will take this loss as part of his exit from working with The Miz, and that's that, I suppose. I don't know, maybe Andrade will have this great night in Money in the Bank and get people to look differently at him. There'll be some
Normally does.
I'm probably quite hard on Andrade. I never feel like I'm given any particular reason to invest. I don't think he's not a massive loser or anything, but he's not a big winner either. So I don't feel like I've got this Andrade project particularly.
But that's what I like about Money in the Bank is it's not like, oh, well, this person immediately is going to get a title. You know, if he was in like a number one contenders match for SummerSlam US, not Andrade.
Yeah.
The briefcase, though, you go, put it on him for 9 months later, we're going to do a cash-in or whatever.
There is that on any given night thing, isn't there, with Money in the Bank? That is something.
That's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Also, Jacob Fatu later on was smashing up the backstage area and kind of definitively said, last time, I don't want or need your help.
Yeah. They're laying it out now. They're laying out the stakes, and I'm sure they won't help, and it'll become a more of a manipulation game.
Very funny this. So Baron Saxton's chatting to L.A. Knight backstage, and he's talking about how it's his third Money in the Bank match. You know, he would claim that he's going to punch his ticket and do the whole thing as everyone else has said, but it's a multi-man match. Anything can happen. He knows what it's like. But looking up reports of this show, and I saw one that said, Aleister Black walks into frame and speaks in riddles and walks away. He didn't. The one time he doesn't speak in a riddle, he just said, I had that match won last week, basically. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Not Riddle, that.
No, it's pretty clear. He's not happy that LA Knight nicked his pin. This is sort of the Tiffany Stratton thing. I kind of want to look at LA Knight versus Aleister Black, actually. Yeah, I think I do. But it is a direction for LA Knight.
Dangerous because LA Knight could say something and people just go, oh, yeah, no, he's killed him with that line.
That's what I want to see. I want to see if he can. Like, what if he just calls him like some sort of weird skinny goth? And that's it. Like, nobody can.
I can't see it. Oh, no.
Yeah, I kind of want to look at this weird mid-card program. And it's given me sort of faith in the continued direction of this LA Knight character, considering that he's a big outsider for this Money in the Bank, isn't he? Only because of where he is in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
In kayfabe.
He's sod's law now. The year is the one time he's not one of the favourites.
They just give him it.
And that's the catalyst, arguably, for a heel turn, like a heel cash in.
We should assess, as it's such a small card, relatively speaking, we should assess the possibility and probabilities of the winners when we do a preview for this show.
Yeah, Friday.
There's there's pros and cons for all of in both matches, I would say.
I just love Money in the Bank, man. I tell you. I get buzzed every year.
Triple H hates it. Did you hear that?
I saw all that, and I think that's the one thing in the world we disagree on. So.
Right.
Tell you what else I'm really looking forward to seeing, weirdly. John Cena and Logan Paul as a tag team, because I don't know what it was about this main event. I think probably it's just I'm happy Cody's back. Mm-hmm. But Cody comes out, huge reaction, of course, and he does his big entrance. People loving him, obviously. Drinks it all in, and then he asks, as he always does, whether you guys want to talk about?
We're back. We're so back.
There's several things, including Mania 41. He went home and drowned his sorrows with the Tennessee cough syrup.
Booze.
Right.
Win or lose, we booze.
He had a doubtful moment following that, and he reached out to a friend who he asked if he was a good champion. And the person said, with everything you faced in the ring, with everything you faced behind the scenes, you were a good champion. That made him feel good. And he thought about his year with AJ Styles and his sort of fake out retirement and Kevin Owens attacking him by the bus and, the final boss and The Rock asking for his soul. And that offer still stands.
Does it?
Always does.
I mean,
No backsies.
I mean, it does now, I guess. That stuck out, didn't it?
Something stuck out when he said that on me, definitely. I got very excited. Cody mentions John Cena and says, look, he did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Gotta give him that one. That's pretty good stuff.
But I hesitated when you gave me a chance and, now you're going to ruin pro wrestling. Well, if that happens, maybe I'm partly to blame, but I'll never hesitate with you again. I'll burn your ass up. My first night back on SmackDown, though. I'm getting a bit worked up. Who wants a surprise? Jade. He brings out his tag partner, Jey Uso.
Who wants a surprise? I've got jelly and ice cream for 10,000.
And what did Jey Uso came down to the ring, did his usual amazing entrance, and then what did he do when he got down to the ring? I can't remember actually.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. No, he finished then. He made his entrance. This song had finished, so then he ran it back and it.
He's doing that loads as well. Because these two, they love it. These two, and so do I. Before Logan Paul,
I want to get my Money in the Bank because I want to get to the press conference.
Yes, please put the belts on them. These can be in the tag division instead of the Wyatt Sicks.
Okay,
do that. Put the Wyatt Sicks in the main event against John Cena and Logan Paul. I'll look at that instead, and let's have Cody and Jey Uso.
Do you feel it? Is that what you feel him, sir?
Do you feel him, sir? Libations on the bus.
Yes,
the good old days, like 18 months ago.
I did like the way that they we're going to rip back, and I was like, yeah, and it immediately gets cut off by John Cena's music.
You see it's the Wade Barrett, Mike left on or worked shoot or whatever. You see this? It's he's marking out. It's great.
Obviously, he comes out in his black and white, very basic. Cena sucks chance. He says, I'm upset. You two professional wrestling's biggest wannabes. Of course, them both wannabe John Cena's, basically.
Johnnabees.
Cody's too desperate. Uso's too lazy. They want his fame and his pay packet and what have you. There's only one person I thought I really quite like the way they've done this. One person who embodies hustle, loyalty, and respect. And that's my partner for Money in the Bank, Logan Paul. And people are like, boo. Cena's like, you're just mad because he does WWE better than any other professional wrestler. He's paying everyone's mortgage round here. Everyone came to see me and him. Logan Paul arguably was a brilliant partner here to John Cena because anytime people were like, I'm still going to cheer for John Cena tonight because of all the stuff in the past, even though he's a heel, they'd be like, I'm just going to cheer. He stood next to Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Logan Paul had a nice line. He said he could walk on water and everyone would find a way to tell him it's because he can't swim. He called Tennessee people stupid. Said you'll live long, pathetic, miserable lives, but at least you remember the time you saw me and John Cena standing together. There's a shut the F up chant, understandably. And he says, me and him, I just love the dynamic of like, old pals, me and John. Yeah. We should both be stood here as champions, probably. Him with the world title, me with the other world title. Calls Jey Uso lucky. He says, you and Cody get everything handed to you. You're Nepo babies. Me and John. We're self-made men. 5 years ago, no one would have believed that I'd be a WWE superstar or tagging with the GOAT. John Cena's the last real champion. It's Money in the Bank. You want some, can get some. And Jey Uso's like, don't have to wait. And Cody, I got confused by this. This is the only problem I really had with this show.
Okay.
Cody accused Logan Paul of polishing John Cena's peacemaker.
Right.
Then they had a big brawl, and Cody and Jey stood tall to close the show.
So you were probably thinking, I was like, John Cena got a Peacemaker statue.
Action figure, yeah.
Yeah, action figure.
From
the film.
From Suicide Squad, yeah.
Peacemaker, starring John Cena.
Oh, yeah, also he's in the
TV show.
TV show.
TV show,
in the film is the Peacemaker.
Yeah.
And like maybe he's got it in like a display case.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul nips around there when John Cena's been obviously wrestling lately. And he's like,
dust builds up.
Dusting down, feather duster, chamois leather, whatever. Jacking him off.
Right, okay.
Totally different.
Understandable
totally
why they
different.
kicked off.
Yeah. Just like mutual masturbation to climax. That's what I like. And the implication, which I don't love actually, it's quite road dog pilled, and disappointed Cody went with it, is that like they're somehow lesser than by jacking each other off. When if they're consenting adults that want to jack each other off,
absolutely
they should be permitted to jack each other off. So I'm not quite sure why that line was thrown in there. But that was what he was referring to, not cleaning the toy.
Thoughts on this entire segment?
Not good. Not good. I'm sorry. I know you liked it, and I preferred your recap to the actual segment, watching it happen. John Cena is fucking useless, and it's stressing me out, man. Like, I cannot believe he's this bad. Like, I have backed him. I have had to defend him to my esteemed colleague, Michael Sidgwick. I kind of supported this idea, ultimately, the John Cena last year, win the title, do whatever. The heel turn, I keep saying it, The Rock caused the problem, Triple H hasn't solved the problem. They're both losing. John Cena's the pawn in this game of chess they're playing, and we're all losing too. Like, he's so bad. He's bad at everything. His matches suck. These stories are not interesting. His promo delivery is embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know how he
can't look at him. Why does he do that? I thought he'd left wrestling to act. Like, I mean, he's certainly not left acting to wrestle. So I don't know, like, what the frig's going on with him. Logan Paul was all right, as you say, but, like, I hate him and all. So is this like, hey, Meg, do you get this ugly? Like, it's the first time I've liked Logan Paul in about a year. Apparently, you're standing next to John Cena and he's palatable. Like,
he's a good heel.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, God. I don't want to watch this match. This felt like the friggin', I love Cody and Jade, the Payback match. I think it's one of the most underrated matches / moments of this entire boom is when they win the titles at Payback 2023. Love it, adore it. Jey Uso to Raw, the whole story. Cody, I'll rescue you, mate. We'll start again, fresh start. To this moment, ultimately, if you want to track it back that far, and I think you can. It's real deep stuff. Means something to me. And I'm watching this, and it feels like frigging the Brothers of Destruction versus Kane and Undertaker in Saudi Arabia, when it was like, right, Raw's done, now here come these fossils to around. Like, I got awful energy from
interesting
all of
match
this.
that'd be as well.
You and I were both being very patient there.
Brothers of Destruction versus Kane and Undertaker.
Oh, God, that's even worse than what we got.
I would love to see it, though.
That's why the only person I can't trust is myself.
They're both just shadow boxing.
In the mirror. I've got him. The cracks are showing. This stinker City Jones. Like, real
How long's
problem.
SummerSlam? How long do we get to SummerSlam?
I was like, how long's the show? 2 nights, mate. 4 hours a shot. How are we going to get a car? How are we going to get 2 cards?
Like, get 2 cards out of SummerSlam.
I just don't like this one bit. And on the night, it might be all right. It's Money in the Bank. There's other stuff going on.
CM Punk could cash in on the night.
Yes, please. I'm John Cena.
So very much a long shot.
It's going to feel big time on the night. I'm not completely.
It doesn't main event though, does it?
God no. Like.
Well, then again, they might want the thing of Spectre hanging over it, so maybe it does.
You got 2 world champions out there and somebody with a briefcase. They probably will do that actually, and then the person who's won will come out with a briefcase. And, is it going to be tonight? And no, but
probably John Cena's crap.
Well, yeah. If a babyface wins. And like they could cash in on John Cena and potentially, and then Logan Paul uses like the loaded fist to knock out the babyface attempting to cash
before the cash in.
Yeah,
good. Okay, that's fine.
Like you could get some heat out of it. I don't know. Maybe it'll be hot on the night. I just thought this segment reeked. I didn't think Cody was all right. Jey Uso's Jey Uso. As soon as Cena and Logan came out, I think the whole thing just circled the drain. Rubbish.
Well, let us know your thoughts on that segment and on SmackDown in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch here, you can follow all 3 of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
You can follow our producer Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
And you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from. For daily wrestling podcast, the Raw preview is available right now where we talk all about the release of R-Truth. And me and Sid will be back later on today to review AEW Collision. But for now, this has been the SmackDown review. My thanks to Hamflett. We talked on the show. About what the Wyatt Sicks are owed as they destroy the tag team division. R-Truth versus JC Mateo. Bianca Belair is back. Naomi and Andrade on Money in the Bank bound. And Cody Rhodes returns as well.
The SmackDown review. It's got all this. Can we have some more?
See you soon.